What do you make of what Joe Biden, the Democrats are doing in the government? I think you said that the U.S. government is addicted to spending money and the Federal Reserve is Washington, D.C.'s pusher. How do you rate the Democrats, and would Trump and the Republicans fix it or change anything for the better if they come back?
I doubt it. I mean, they had the White House and both houses of Congress for a couple of years, and they just made the problem worse. Trump didn't cut any government spending. He increased government spending. He increased spending on welfare. He increased spending on warfare. He even created the Space Force, a whole new government agency. So no, I mean, Trump signed every budget that made it onto his desk. The budget, not only did the budget deficits get bigger every year he was president, the trade deficits got bigger every year he was president. So I don't believe that the Republicans would act any differently if they got back in power. I think they're good at criticizing the Democrats when they have power, but then the minute they have it, they act just like the Democrats they criticized. Because again, once they're in power, they want to stay in power. How do you stay in power? Well, not by telling the truth, not by asking the voters to swallow bitter tasting medicine. So when they're not in power, yeah, they can criticize all the big spending. But the minute they have power, they don't want to lose it, well, they become the big spenders themselves. Now, is it possible on the margin the Republicans will be somewhat less, reckless than the Democrats? Yeah, maybe. But that's not what we need. We just don't need the lesser of two evils. We need actually somebody to do good. And while there may be a handful of Republicans that would do good, there's just not enough of them. They can't get anything done.
I guess vote Schiff 2024, right? Make a change.
Yeah, well, if I run, I won't be able to vote for myself because I do live in Puerto Rico, and so I can't vote, but I can run for president. I just can't vote for myself.
Have you ever considered running?
Well, I mean, considered it seriously, or just considered it like a crazy thing that, you daydream about. But yeah, I mean, it is something that I've thought about. I mean, obviously, I did run for Senate in 2010.
Yeah, of course you did. Yeah.
And so, had I won, right, well, I might have seen that as a stepping stone to a higher office. I don't know. I didn't want to stay in the Senate. I mean, my goal was to have one term and get out. I mean, even if I could have won, which I didn't even win the primary. So it's, it's a big jump to talk about, that I would have won. But look, Donald Trump won the presidency. And he did it because, he spent a lot of his own money and he ran a good campaign. I think a lot of the stuff that Trump said resonated with a lot of people. And I think I would say a lot of the same things. I mean, I agreed with a lot of things that Trump claimed he was going to do if he became president. He just didn't do those things. He did some of those things. I'm not saying Trump did nothing right, but he didn't do the big things that he needed to do to make America great again. I mean, he just did not have the political courage. And I was hopeful that maybe he would, that he wasn't a politician, that he would be a statesman and he would rise above politics and just do what was right, even if it wasn't good politics. But look, he couldn't even grant the temporary waiver of the Jones Act for Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria. I mean, that's how much he was bought and paid for by special interest. He didn't drain the swamp. He just, swam in it. And so I would actually like to do the stuff that Trump campaigned on. I mean, that would be one thing. If I ever ran for president, you better believe that I would do exactly what I said I was going to do. The problem is, I don't know if I could get elected promising to do what needs to be done, because there's an army of people who would vote against me. There's so many people who want the government gravy train to continue that if I threaten to end it, there's going to be a wave of people who want to vote against me. So it's almost like the only way to get into the White House would be not to be honest. I mean, that's one of the things Trump did. I mean, Trump, when he campaigned, never talked about cutting Social Security, never talked about cutting Medicare. And that's one of the reasons that he got so many votes, because he didn't promise to do that. I was hoping that when he got elected, he would do that anyway. Right? He was like, okay, now I'm president. I got 4 years. I'm going to do all the unpopular stuff that I didn't mention when I was running. And I don't care if it makes people hate me. I know it's the right thing. But the minute he became president, he was more concerned about people liking him and about the economy doing well so he can claim credit for it. So he didn't want any part of the bitter tasting medicine. In fact, one of the things that Trump did He criticized Janet Yellen for being political with monetary policy and keeping interest rates artificially low to help make Biden look good and to help inflate asset bubbles. Yet the minute he became president, he started criticizing Powell because Powell wasn't doing that. He demanded that Powell slash interest rates. In fact, he wanted Powell to make interest rates negative. He demanded more money printing. He wanted more quantitative easing. He wanted exactly what he ran against. And so he became the very thing that he promised to rid us of. So, he should have done the opposite, but he didn't. If I ever found myself in that position, I would never sell out my principles. I would do exactly what I knew needed to be done, no matter how unpopular that would make me in the short run. And I would have no designs on a second term. I would not think, well, I'm going to fix it in my second term, because you know what? If you do the right thing, you probably won't have a second term. Yeah. And so you got to do it all while you're there. And of course, you may get assassinated by somebody. I mean, if I was in there doing the right thing, there are so many special interests that don't want the right stuff being done. Who knows how long I would survive as president.
Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I am just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.